Bienvenidos al mundo hispano. Pues hoy vamos a hablar sobre los países en el mundo hispano. Yo voy a empezar con la pregunta, ¿cuántos países que hablan español hay? Write down as many as you can think of without looking at a map. I want you to pause this and then we're going to go through the list together. Okay, there are 22 Spanish-speaking countries in the world. Vamos a ver el mapa. Pues aquí tenemos México, México, I'm not going to have enough room to write on that. México, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panamá, Cuba, la República Dominicana, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Perú, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, por supuesto, España, right? But we're still missing one. So there's an interesting case here. Belize, which is right there, is not Spanish speaking. It's actually an English speaking country. We're missing one. It's over here in Africa. Y se llama Guinea Equatorial. Equatorial Guinea, right? And most people kind of forget that country because it's the Spanish-speaking holdout basically in Africa. But it is officially, Spanish is the official language there. So there we have our 22 Spanish-speaking countries. And we can almost kind of include the United States there too. A lot of Spanish speakers in the United States, especially in Puerto Rico. We know Puerto Rico is not a country. Muy bien, vamos a continuar. Pues, ¿qué horas son en Spartanburg? Son las 11 de la mañana en Spartanburg. ¿Qué hora es en México, la Ciudad de México? Son las 9 de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es en Barcelona, España? En Barcelona son las 5. What time is it, right? We're going over what time of the day. ¿Qué hora es en las Islas Canarias? Islas Canarias, Canary Islands. Son las 4. Pues, ¿qué hora es? Aquí es la pregunta. When you want to ask, what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Y aquí tenemos, we see the little hand and we have the big hand. How will we respond to that? Vamos a decir, son las 8. So it's 8 o'clock. So we have 8 aquí, right? And this is, it is 8. So we need to include son las 8. ¿Qué hora es? It's 1 o'clock. How do we say this? Son las 1? No, that doesn't work because una is singular, right? It's not plural, it's singular. So we'll say es la una. Es la una. And it's only at 1 o'clock that we use es. So es la una, but son las 8. And always remember this, es and son, la and las and una is going to be feminine. For 1 o'clock, la una. For all other hours, we say las whatever time. Por ejemplo, another thing, a las 4, at 4, son las 4, it's 4. A lot of students confuse these, right? And try to keep in mind, a goes with at. A and at. Make that connection in your mind right now. That's one way to connect them. We tend to get these confused quite a bit. A las 4, at 4, son las 4, it's 4. So when would you use the two? So somebody says, ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? You would respond, son las 4, it's 4. If somebody asks you, ¿A qué hora es la clase de español? At what time is Spanish class? A las 4, at 4 o'clock. So I want you to take a second and write down, pause this video, and write down what time it is in the following times, and then we're going to go over it together. Pause the video now. Write in a complete sentence. Muy bien, vamos a ir. So we have 7 o'clock. So we know it's going to be son because it's 7. Son las 7. Muy bien. Aquí we have 4 o'clock. It's more than one, so it's son las 4. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting here. 11, more than one, so son las 11. 1 o'clock. We know only 1 o'clock. We have to use S. It's singular. La una. And over here, 8 o'clock, plural. Son las 8. Muy bien. That was easy, right? Well, it gets a little more complicated because, we're not just going to tell time on the hours. We also have to tell time on the half hours, on the quarters, 5 after, 10 to, etc., right? We can do that in Spanish too, and we're going to. Pues, other things we can add, de la mañana, de la tarde, and de la noche. So we don't have, in Spanish, we don't have PM, AM, right? These things don't exist. So we'd say, son las 11 de la mañana. Son las 11 de la mañana. Son las 11 de la noche. So it's 11 a.m. here, 11 p.m. here, right? Muy bien. One of the interesting things, in most Spanish-speaking countries, they actually use the 24-hour clock. So you don't always have to include this, because if I say, oh, it's 23:45, we know that it's 11:45 p.m., right? Here I'm expecting you just to use a 12-hour clock because that's what we use. Muy bien, seguimos. ¿Qué hora es? So I want you to go back over these times, adding de la mañana, de la tarde, de la noche. Pause the video now. Muy bien, vamos a continuar. Número 1. Son las 7 de la noche. Son las 4 de la tarde. Aquí. Son las 11 de la noche. Número 4. Es la 1 de la tarde. Número 5. Son las 8 de la mañana. Well, if we're doing this during the summer, it's still probably sunny in the evening as well. But if you say noche, if I say, oh, it's 8 o'clock at night, it kind of sounds weird that the sun will be up. Night means darkness, right? Unfortunately, there's no word that we would use for evening, right? We would say, oh, it's 8 in the evening. There's really no word we'd use for that in Spanish, unfortunately. Muy bien, seguimos. Aquí en Buenos Aires es mediodía. Es mediodía. 12 o'clock, midday, noon. Es mediodía. And what's the opposite? Midnight? We already know night is noche, so we can kind of guess media noche. So remember, here's some things here, right? So we have medio dia. Dia is masculine, so that's why we have an O. Noche is feminine, which is why we have an A. Medio dia, media noche. Muy bien, seguimos. Es mediodía, es medianoche. Aquí. Mediodía, medianoche. You can also say son las 12 de la noche. It's 12 o'clock at night. But in English, we just say it's midnight, right? Lo mismo en español. The exact same in Spanish. We probably say it's medianoche instead of saying, oh, son las 12 de la noche. It's about economy of words, making it as short as possible. Ooh, here we're running into a problem. What are we going to do? This isn't on the hour. These are all sorts of weird hours. Well, Just like in English, we have a bunch of different things in Spanish, rules for how to say this. So between 0 and 30, so let's divide up the clock here, right? We're gonna do this really sloppy. We're gonna add time. And after 30, we're going to subtract time, right? What does that mean? So let's say, for instance, we have 1:16. Well, we know 16 is on this side of the clock, so we're going to add time to the 1. So es la una y and 16. Es la una y 16, right? Now, what if I have 1:48? Ooh, that's on the other side of the clock. So we're going to go to the next hour. We're going to go to the next hour, which is 2. So son las 12, son las dos, lo siento, menos 12. So after the 30 mark, we're going to go all the way to the next hour, and we're going to subtract from the next hour. And of course, on the halves, right? So here we'll have, so if we have 1:15, es la una y cuarto. Cuarto means a quarter, right? That's like saying it's a quarter after 1 in English. And if it's 1:30, es la una y media. Es la una y media. It's 1:30. It's 1:30. So this, conceptually, this takes students a little bit of time to get. This is kind of tricky. So we're going to do some practice. So I have all these weird times here. So I want you to pause the video now and practice writing these out, and then we're going to go over them together. Pause the video now. Okay, muy bien. So we're going to start by dividing our clock, right? So is the minute hand which side? It's on this side. So we know we're going to not do 11, but we're going to go up to the next hour. Son las 12 menos 10. It's 10 to 12, basically. So over here, we're going to divide up our clock. The minute hand's on this side, right? So we're going to go to the next hour, which is 4. Son las 4 menos 20. It's 20 to 4. So let's go over here and divide up our clock. Which side is our minute hand on? It's over here. So we're going to go to the next hour, which is 7. Son las 7 menos 5. I'm being lazy not writing the numbers out. I'm sorry. So let's divide our clock. Oh, wrong way. Let's divide up our clock. And which side is the minute hand on? It's over here. So we're going to go to the next hour, which is 10. Son las 10 menos. Oh, we could say menos 15, but we could also say menos cuarto. It's a quarter to 10. And over here, divide this up. Which side is our minute hand on? Over here. We'll go to the next hour, which is 1. Es la una menos, let's say 3. It's 3 to 1. Muy bien. Fácil. Facilísimo. I don't know why that slides in there, but there we go. Vamos a practicar. So I want you guys to go to, in the book, to 122, page 22. And I'm actually going to pause the video right now, and I'm going to bring that up. Muy bien, aquí estamos. I'm going to say out a few hours, and you guys are going to tell me which clock it is, right? Let's go. Número 1. Son las 7:15 de la mañana. Son las 7:15 de la mañana. Es número 2. Number 2. Es la 1:10 de la tarde. Es la 1:10 de la tarde. Esto es número 5. Son las 10:45 de la mañana. Son las 10:45 de la mañana. Esto es cuarto, cuatro. Watch for. Es mediodía. Es mediodía. That's number 8. Número 8. Son las 11:10 de la noche. Son las 11:10 de la noche. Esto es número 7, number 7. Son las 8:30 de la mañana. Son las 8:30 de la mañana. Número 3. Son las 6 de la tarde. Son las 6 de la tarde. Número 1. Son las 3:25 de la tarde. Son las 3:25 de la tarde. That's number 6, número 6. Muy bien. Pues vamos a continuar con 1.24. I'm going to flip the page in my textbook and we're going to go to 124. Okay, so we have a bunch of various cities. I want you to pause the video now and you're going to tell me what time it is in these various cities, and then we'll go over them together. Pause the video now. En Lima, número 1, en Lima son las 8:30 de la mañana. Son las 8:30 de la mañana. En Buenos Aires son las 10:30 de la mañana. En Los Ángeles son las 5:30 de la mañana. En Nueva York son las 8:30 de la mañana. And this is the 24-hour clock I told you guys about. En Madrid son las 14:30 de la tarde. En Chicago son las 7:30 de la mañana. En Manila son las 17:30 de la noche. En Malabo son las 14:30 de la tarde. Muy bien. Pues ya está. You guys are ready to do 118 in your workbook, which is a time exercise. The time stuff will be on the chapter quiz for sure. You're going to see popping up right now a few videos to give you some different explanations, and below this in the comments there'll be a few links where you can practice some more if you'd like. Y ya está. Nos vemos mañana.